We are pleased to welcome a truly great conservative champion and the president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. Tom, welcome to Victory News, sir. It's great to have you today.
Hey, good to be with you. Thank you for those kind words.
All right, so Christopher Columbus statue that's been kept in a box in Philly in the biggest American Italian neighborhood has been given freedom by a court. Is that good or bad for the city of brotherly love?
Oh, it's great. Hopefully the Antifa types don't come and try to destroy it once it's freed for the people, the great people of Philadelphia, to again honor he's, I guess, not an American hero. I guess American hero in the oldest sense of the word.
2,600 illegals encountered in El Paso over 24 hours. And Tom, is this a preview of things to come when Title 42 ends next week?
I don't know how it can get much worse at this point. I mean, you see the video there. We are under an invasion, aided and embedded by the Biden administration. We've never seen anything like it in American history. It's organized. It's the largest human trafficking operation in the history of mankind. And here in Washington, the leadership of both parties seems to twiddle their thumbs in the face of this crisis that could end our nation.
I would like your perspective on the recent Twitter files release that showed the company's conduct regarding former President Trump. What do you think about that?
Well, it's a vindication once again for President Trump. You have a confession, essentially, by the Twitter Corporation that they were improperly restricting, censoring, and suppressing his account with no good faith basis in the days before the election. And on top of it, which is really dramatic evidence of election interference. And then afterwards, they were making it up as they went along in terms of coming up with a rule out of whole cloth, only for him, to take his account down permanently from Twitter. A wild abuse of power, and it looks like it was done in league with the Democratic Party, the Biden campaign, at least before the election. And then, of course, they were working with the FBI and DHS, deep state actors, to suppress not only Trump, but other American citizens as well. This is a government corruption scandal, a political scandal, obviously, and a corporate scandal.
Tom, this is Greg Stevens. Thanks for being with us. Let's stay with Twitter for just a minute. Elon Musk says his pronouns are now, and I quote, prosecute Fauci. Now, you've tweeted your support several times. Would Dr. Fauci ever face justice? And what will the charges be if he did?
Well, we'll see what happens. There ought to be a serious criminal investigation into how his agency handled gain of function. They had rules in place that prohibited it or severely restricted it, and those rules were not followed. It looks like there was machinations going on behind the scenes to engage in gain of function without actually having to trigger any of the regulatory requirements, and it looks like there was a fraud. On top of that, there are questions about his testimony about gain of function research. And on top of that, we want the full information about just how much money he was benefiting from, he and people around him, while he ran the agency that doled out a bunch of money to not only China, but labs and contracts throughout the world.
Right, yeah, and we now know where it did come from. Now, a federal appeals court, ruled to protect religious doctors and hospitals from being forced to perform sex change operations. Two questions. Tom, will the ruling stand? And why are the Democrats and those on the left so desperate to attack children and their biological gender?
Well, you never know how a ruling is going to work out in the end, but it highlights the transgender extremism here. Not only the targeting of children, but trying to force other adults into this abuse of children through these radical experimental procedures that can alter their lives and their physical appearance forever. These are terrible times in that regard.
It is. America's first Gen Z congressman and progressive, Maxwell Frost, who was denied an apartment rental because of, quote, really bad credit. I want to get your reaction to how this progressive freshman representative is starting off his congressional career.
Well, look, we were all that age sometimes, and we were all very young and probably had bad credit at that time. So I'm not going to hold it against them.
Well, and Joe Biden certainly hasn't helped his credit. I would say the last 2 years or so. There you go. All right, Tom Fitton, Judicial Watch. I encourage people to go to the website, follow you guys, and thank you, sir, for being with us today. Merry Christmas to you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the good word.